Sohcahtoa is an acronym to help us remember the three basic trig functions, sine, cosine, and tangent, and help us remember that they are ratios and ratio of two sides and exactly what two sides we're talking about. First, in order to do any of this, we need to talk about an angle. Like if we want to know what is the sine function of angle D. And so angle D is what's going to be used for our perspective. And so we have three sides to a triangle, we know that, and we label them opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. Now the hypotenuse is opposite our 90-degree angle, it's our longest side, that's always the hypotenuse. But the opposite and adjacent sides, they depend on what angle you're using for perspective. And so for angle D, the opposite side is 12, and the adjacent side is 5. And we'll go to angle F in a minute. So sine D is a ratio of two sides, a comparison of two sides. And the way to remember that is we use Sohcahtoa. The first three letters, S-O-H. The S stands for sine. The O and the H stand for the two sides that we use. O over H, opposite over hypotenuse. So sine D is 12. The opposite side over the hypotenuse, 13. Cosine D. So we're talking about the same angle D, so the sides are this from the same perspective angle, so 13 still hypotenuse, 12 still opposite, 5 still adjacent, and the middle three letters of Sohcahtoa tell us that cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that's 5 over 12. And the last basic trig function is tangent. The tangent of angle D is the last three letters, is opposite over adjacent, and so the opposite side is 12, the adjacent side is 5. So tangent of angle D is 12 over 5. Now if we were to change our perspective to angle F and wanted to know what is sine F, cosine F, tangent F, using F as our perspective, 13 is still the hypotenuse, because that's still the longest side, it's still opposite the right angle, so that doesn't change, but 5 that was adjacent to D is opposite F, and 12, which was opposite D, is adjacent to F. Opposite is kind of across from the triangle. You could always draw an arrow in the angle and it points to the opposite side. So sine F, we know, is opposite over hypotenuse, is 5 over 13. Cosine of F, cosine of angle F, adjacent over hypotenuse, is 12 over 13. And lastly, tangent of angle F is opposite over adjacent, is 5 over 12.